Hey everybody, welcome back inside the Stash Report. This is going to be our May compilation video, which for the new folks, we do this once a month at the top of every month to let you guys know what kits to expect for the given month, this being May of 2019. To give you guys just a little heads up here because we'll be, heading into the weekend and everything like that, the expected sort of flow of videos, we got this one coming. We're going to have a regular stash report. I sort of ran last week and this week into one, mainly because this week, for anybody who's just sort of living under a rock and hasn't been paying any attention, is Golden Week in Japan. Now, I know the Golden Week in Japan is probably not something that a lot of people would pay attention to, but they got a new emperor over there this week as well, starting a whole new, era, as it were. And I know that's been in the news just in general. So if you have any kind of sort of just basic knowledge of the news, you've seen this, and I'm sure they've mentioned the fact that it's the week of holidays over there. Anyway, so Japan has been closed this week, the end of April into the beginning of May, and so there isn't anything coming out of Japan right now. There were some kit releases here domestically, which we will cover. Plus, then rolling into all of last week's kit releases, we'll make a whole show. Also, we have our sort of NNL recap, as it were. We put the video up that we're going to do videos from NNL, and don't look at me, but I forgot my charger at home. So I did take the videos, and I did get a chance to sit down and we'll stand up. I didn't really sit down, but did have a chance to grab Ed Sexton to myself for a few minutes before I left. And so there will be a video about the stuff we saw at NNL from Mobius and from Ravel. And there's a few other things that are like laying around that I might get done this weekend. The 1994 season of the JTCC season videos is done. I just need to render it and upload it. That'll probably end up being like this, not this Friday that is today, but the Friday next Friday. We'll probably just upload it because those videos were going up on Fridays, and that seemed to work out for everybody. Give something to watch on the weekends. Like I said, there's a few other things that I have floating around in my mind. We'll see how much of it actually gets done. But this, again, for the beginning of May, is the video for all the kit releases. Just a few things domestically because it's always sort of hit or miss as to where Ravel is right now, with them not really having a technical release date thing set up right now, as well as Mobius is supposed to have a few things out this month as well. We'll see if those show up. But the 66 Ford pickup truck, the semi new toolkit, the flare side bed, or the bump side bed, however you want to look at the that bed with the fenders on it, as opposed to being the style side or the smooth side bed. That kit is supposed to be shipping out of Mobius uh, the very beginning of this month. I think so. I've seen a few things saying it was supposed to be shipping out to distributors today on the 3rd of May. So that kit should be in stores this month. And the Model King 65 with the utility bed probably will also be out this month. But since we don't have any kind of firm, concrete one on that second one, I'm just going to say it could. The 66 Ford from Mobius will come out this month. So that's one of the releases. And I'm not sure if there, Round or Ravel will show you, if you watch the NNL video, you see the whole board. There are currently 8 kits that are slated to come out over the summer. And a couple of them were mentioned in passing as being July specific, but I didn't hear anything being May specific, so I don't know when those kits will come out. Of course, we'll just cover them in the stash reports if they show up. From round 2, there are going to be 4 releases for the month of May. From MPC, you get a reissue of the 1977 Pontiac Firebird. That is a strictly factory stock kit. They sort of showed as a 2-on-1 in the box because one of the cars doesn't have a spoiler on it, and I guess that makes it an N1. Over at AMT, you get a reissue of the 1953 Ford, the venerable 1953 Ford pickup tool. This is going to have a Coke tie-in because, well, we're going to Coke all the things at round 2. And it is going to include the die-cast vending machine and dolly that was most recently seen in the reissue of the 55 Chevy pickup. So that's going to get another run. They're going to release a reissue of the 1977 Ford Pinto. There's been a lot of controversy, to use the British version, online about whether or not the MPC Pinto or the AMT Pinto is better and which one is more detailed and blah blah blah. It's like arguing about which color paint, which color gloss white is the better gloss white because I mean it's a Pinto first of all, um, but that kit hasn't been out since I was born. It literally has not been released ever again. It was released once in '77 as an annual. It was the last of the AMT Pinto annuals because the MPC would go and make the station wagons for '79 and '80, and AMT did not. So that's coming back out. And then the third thing that's probably of most interest to a lot of people is the third and what seems to be, for right now, the final part of the garage diorama set that Round 2 started doing. And this is going to be the lift, the garage floor lift, the two poster. So that is going to come out this month. And I know a lot of people were very interested in that. The tools were sort of here and there, but a good car lift is always fun. We'll see if it actually will hold a model. Like the Fujimi one will hold a model kit if you build it the right way. We'll be very interested to see if this one actually will hold up a built model kit. I would highly stress for people not to put die-cast on them, though, because that's probably a good way to break those. They're not really designed to hold up very much weight. So that'll be that. And then we'll go overseas for some stuff here. Um, for the most part, these are going to be reissues. I don't see anything that is significantly like new. There are a couple of retools in here, but or modified reissues, I guess, but nothing significantly new. Over Fujimi, you get a reissue of their Audi Quattro 20 valve sedan, reissue of the Porsche 917K in the 1970 24 Hours of Le Mans livery, reissue of the Toyota FJ Cruiser. That just got released not too terribly long ago, but we're getting two different colors on this, and they are smoky blue and beige. Once again, pat on the back because we told you guys when the kit got reissued with the black box art, the blue one and the beige one are in the background. I said, "Oh, those are the next colors of the kits," and they are. And then the slightly modified reissue of the Suzuki Hustler to the G trim level, which gives you some steel wheels and some like window vents. In the sense of the things you put over top of your windows to keep the rain out so you can roll your window down a little bit. There's going to be in Phoenix Red Pearl and Active Yellow, much like all of their Easy kits, molded in color, not pre-painted. And I'm very interested to see if we get some, like actual decals with those, because I have no place and no time for those vinyl appliques that come with the Easy kits, but most of them have been coming with a little sheet of actual decals for like the gauges and some of the body markings, just to make it acknowledge the fact that adults are interested in these kits rather than just the kids. Over at Hasegawa, you get a reissue of the Denso Toyota 88C in its 1989 24 Hours of Le Mans livery, reissue of the Kenwood Kremer 962C in its Japanese sports car prototype series livery, reissue of the 1993 Toyota Celica Turbo 4-wheel drive in the 1993 Monte Carlo rally livery, a reissue of their 124 scale Suntory West Lola T9050, another one of these 124 scale Formula 3000 cars. It's been a little while since we've had one of those come out. It's been a little gap for a couple of months, so there are too terribly many more of those. Just looking at all of the kits that were ever done livery-wise, just maybe a handful, like 2, 3 left after this one. So it'll be interesting to see if they do go ahead and reissue the rest of them this year, or they just we're just sort of petering out. Sales may have gotten to the point now where it's like, how many do you really need? And then a reissue of the Esso liveried Lancia Super Delta in the 1993 ECR Piancavallo Rally livery, which is just a cool looking car because it's black with gold stripes. And doing a little bit of digging, I found that livery also will extend back into the Lancia 037 for the Hasegawa kit, as well as the fact that they're probably going to be doing, I think it's Decalcost, is supposed to be doing that same livery for the BMX Delta S4. And those decals are in that area of Decalcost, which is like, hey, this is a good idea. Let's tell everybody we're going to do this. 8 months later, it finally shows up. The Lancia 037, by the way, if you're interested in the livery itself, that is a Studio 27 set of decals. That was not just a factory kit. Over at Aoshima, a couple of the reissues that are going to be taken up a notch, if it were, into the initial D series is Inosuke Takayachi's Toyota 8511. This is going to get like a combination of some parts and I'm not sure any of them are technically new, to make this look like the car of the comic book series. I did a little bit of reading up on the initial D series because there's so many of these things coming out, and very entertainingly, uh, this guy is sort of like the comic relief for, especially within the comic book series, and he really, really wants to have a Truno Levin the way that the the head guy. uh, I can't think what the heck his name is off the top of my head right now. It's there, it's gone. But he accidentally buys an AE85, and there's a big difference in the engines of those cars in real life. It's just a one cylinder difference, but or not a one cylinder difference, but like 1 liter, a tenth of a liter. One is a 1.6, one is a 1.5. I think is how it works in real life. But one of those is also turbocharged, and the other one's naturally aspirated. So he wants so badly to have the car, the hero car, and he ends up buying an 85 Levin by accident. And of course, it's like waka waka waka, hilarity ensues. And then over at the other side of the initial D thing here, we have Iketami Kaishiro's Nissan Silvia S13. Both of these are sharing a bucket seat, which they say is new. I'm guessing it's just like a bucket seat that's on like a little tiny, like little runner of itself. And it's shared between the two, and it's also shared with the uh, one of the kits that is coming out this in the summer. I can't think of what the reissue was on that. Oh, it's right there on top of my. I can see it. It's another RX-7, I think. And then you get a reissue of the Nissan R30 uh, Group 5 car for the 9 hours of Kiliami, which is a race that was held in South Africa. And it has a slightly different front and rear end to that car, different body tooling, basically, than the Super Silhouette car that's been done in the past. I mean, this is a reissue, but it's been a long time since it's been reissued. And then also on the reissue train in the new boxings is a reissue of the 2005 Toyota Alphard uh, van. That has not been reissued in a factory stock format since 2006 when the kit was tooled up. So that's kind of fun to see come back. And then on the restocks at Aoshima, you get a restock of the 98 Toyota Chaser Tourer 5, a reissue of the 2007 Nissan Fairlady Z, which, the 350Z for us folks, reissue of the 99 Nissan Silvia in its Vertex boxing, reissue of the BN Sports Toyota Mark II Tourer 5 tuner, which is technically speaking one of the D1 Grand Prix cars that just doesn't have any of that stuff in it anymore. Reissue of the Ing Tuner WRX STI from 2007. Reissue of the C West R34 GTR. Reissue of the Rally Art Lancer Evo 10. Always like to point out that is the only Aoshima Evo 10 that has left-hand drive stuff. Reissue of the RE Amenia Savannah RX-7. Reissue of the Liberty Walk R35 GTR Type 2 version 1. Reissue of the 86 Truno Project D. Reissue of Sakamoto's Suzuki Cappuccino. Both those are, of course, initial D cars, as is the Takahashi Ryusuke FC3S RX-7 and the Hajime Hojo R32. Both of those kits are the mountain race versions, the ones that were modified at the end of 2015, I think it was, with new parts for the specific sort of it was actually a series of 3 comic books that covered this race between the two of them. The R32 ended up losing because of having, I think it was brake failure on the way down the mountain, but be that as it may. And then also, because we're still not done here, you have the 86 Truno Volume 1, the 86 Truno Volume 37, which of course is the one we always tell you to buy because it has all the parts in it, and then a reissue again of Takahashi Ryusuke's FC3S RX-7 in the non Hakkasan Showdown version. So a lot of initial D stuff is getting rerun if you haven't noticed. So big push on that. And I guess there technically is one new toolkit this month. I've seen a few people with them already, so I think some suppliers in the United States might have them. I know that Hobby Easy has had them for about a week, and they should be coming in stock in Hobby Link Japan and everywhere else. Probably maybe this week before the show, or at least right afterwards. And that, of course, is the Toyota Gazoo Racing TS050 Le Mans car. It is set up to be the 24 Hours of Le Mans winning car. It does not come with the 24 Hours of Le Mans logos, the WEC logos, or the Total Oil logos. The 24 Hours of Le Mans logo and the Total logo go on the uh, door placards, which is why when you look at the decals, they look kind of funny. They look like the state of Utah if someone flipped the state of Utah backwards. Um, there's supposed to be decals at the very top of that do not exist on the decal sheet unless they've thrown them in at the absolute last minute on shipping the production kits. And then there's also a big white banner that sits just big white. It's about the size of a bumper sticker that sits in front of the rear wheels. That is just a blank white decal that Tamiya gives you, but that should have a WEC logo, the World Endurance Championship logo, in that. Now I know that Frankie and I have discussed doing a little supplemental decal sheet for this to fix this, and I know he has his kit coming so they can measure the supplementals to make sure they'll fit right. And I'm sure that somebody else along the way is probably going to do them as well. But it's just, kind of an interesting juxtaposition of issuing a new kit, but not wanting to pay the livery, or not the livery, but pay the licensing fees for basically what are 3 logos. They must have been wanting a heck of a lot of money for those 3 logos for Tommy to just be like, yeah, all right, well, here it is, deal. So that, guys, covers this month in May. A few things there. I have the Lancia Super Delta on order because I love the SO livery. I have one of the Suzuki G's on order. I'm only going to take delivery of that if it actually has water slide decals. And then I have the Alfred on order. The BMAX kits sort of slid in from April, slid into May. The Delta S4 reissue and the BMW FINA Jägermeister Sport Evolution 2. Now, there's been some places that have the M3 in stock, but it has not actually come into stock in Japan yet for whatever reason. So if you dig around, you can get one now. We'll cover it when it actually gets released in Japan. And yeah, I still have that on order. I have one of those orders because I want to build the FINA car that comes with the kit decals. As there really aren't there's still, at this point, still aren't a whole heck of a lot of aftermarket decals for that M3. I was very, very surprised after an initial flurry of some stuff, and obviously the stuff that SK did for Macau is sort of a little separate from that nobody really did more decals for that. The Rally kit has a whole lot of decals. You can build about 15 different versions of the Rally version of the M3. But for whatever reason, the DTM touring version, yeah, there's just not really been too much love for that. So as we go out here, remind you guys, since this will be the first video you're going to see this week, that the Shizuoka Hobby Show is next Thursday through Sunday. So that will be part of the staff report going into what is the following Monday after that, the 13th. So we'll probably just combine the shows because there won't be really any U.S. releases to worry about, and probably won't be too much in the way of Japanese releases because they are not coming back to work until Tuesday. So they're going to be coming back to work on Tuesday. Then the hobby show starts on Thursday, and there's not really too much going on in terms of shipping kits and stuff like that because everybody's going to be at the show. As a refresher to anybody who doesn't know, Shizuoka, the city, is where all of the Japanese kit manufacturers are headquartered. Tamiya, Hasegawa, Fujimi, although Fujimi doesn't go to the show for whatever reason, but Ebro, every plastic kit manufacturer has a presence in Shizuoka. So basically the whole everybody's offices are going to the show. So there's not going to be a whole heck of a lot of stuff in the way of kits. So that show will be pretty much just taking a look at what we see at the show as far as, parts, runners, and layouts and stuff like that. We pretty much know all the kits. We'll see if BMAX throws anything new out there that we don't know about. And anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the other side.